Hello friends, acquaintances, and enemies of all ages, my name is Combat Bird, and for today's Year of Kirby video, we'll be taking a look at Kirby's Dream Land 2 for the Game Boy. Now, sadly, since we are going back console, we are once again going to not have color, but this will be the last time, I promise. So when I originally went to play the game, I figured, hey, this is probably going to be Kirby's Dream Land 1 again, but this time Kirby has the copy ability. I'll probably have to combine 2 games at least to make this video have enough content. But no, I was completely wrong. I should really stop making assumptions with Nintendo games. Now don't get me wrong, there is a tiny bit of truth to what I said. A lot of the same Kirby mechanics are here. Kirby runs around gracefully, able to inhale enemies and block so that he can shoot them out as projectiles, and so on and so forth. He can fly, but the same as the last 2 games, you have to press up, you can't just press jump repeatedly. I'm starting to wonder if that ever even happens. Maybe I'm just crazy and remembered it all that way. And last but not least, you beat a variety of levels followed by a boss at the end. All the same stuff we're used to. But this time, Kirby once again has his copy ability. He can inhale enemies to gain their abilities to help him get through levels and fight bosses. However, since we last played Kirby's Adventure for the NES, there are a couple things we lose out on by moving back a console. A lot of simple little things that you take for granted. For example, Kirby can no longer run. He has a walking speed and that is it. All it took was 1 game for me and suddenly it feels like Kirby is so slow. His slide is also gone, which isn't a huge deal, but once again, I think it's these little things that we take for granted. And in regards to the copy ability itself, it's nice to finally have it, but while we had 26 different abilities to choose from in Kirby's Adventure, in this one we have 7. Yeah, not a ton. But we have to appreciate that this is on the Game Boy, and they really did a great job bringing over all of these new mechanics with such limited hardware. Another thing they brought over was the goal game, helping you get points, health, and lives at the end of each level by playing a little minigame. And they even brought over the hub system, that way we can easily go between levels and look forward to fighting that epic boss at the end. Alright, so with all of that in mind, let's talk about what is different. The first and biggest new mechanic you'll get with this game are the animal friends that Kirby now has. That's right, we have Rick the hamster, Coo the owl, and Kind the sunfish. All 3 of these animal friends are available throughout the game to help Kirby on his journey. Do you remember how I said there were only 7 copy abilities in this game? Well, each animal friend has their own unique moves for each ability. So really it's like having 21, which is a lot closer to the previous 26. I love the fact that they did this. Getting each animal friend is a ton of fun and can change how you play a level drastically. Rick is quick and isn't affected by ice physics. Coo will allow Kirby to fly while still allowing him to inhale his enemies. And Kind makes it much easier for Kirby to maneuver through water, of course. The animal friends can be a little bit overpowered though. So at the end of each world, I would discard mine to ensure that it wasn't all easy. That's because when playing with an animal friend, they get a full health bar the same size as Kirby's, and can even heal just like he can. This means that Kirby basically gets 2 full health bars. Mix this with the fact that Kirby's copy ability is almost always better when they have an animal friend, and they become a force to be reckoned with. Now while these other new additions to the game may not be nearly as drastic as the animal friends, they were certainly worth mentioning still. Firstly, you'll notice that on your HUD you now have a star meter. This indicates the number of stars Kirby currently has, and once he reaches 7, he gets a 1-up. Stars are scattered throughout the levels and are generally very common. The next thing you'll see is a large amount of new bosses, which are all very interesting, once again taken from Kirby's Adventure. Each fight is exciting and memorable. They also added some new mini-bosses. You have some of the classics returning, such as Mr. Frosty, and you have some newcomers, such as Jumper Shoot. Yeah, some of these designs don't feel all that great. This is just an umbrella with a face that throws sandals at you. I'm sure it'll grow on me at some point because I like weird, obscure character designs, but at least right now, it feels pretty dumb. One last thing I wanted to do was point out how much personality this game has. Even with such simple animations, they're able to make you fall in love with the cute little characters. Like the way Kirby puts a star above a door after he's completed a level. Or how the animal friends react to their different abilities. Even the pause screen has cute animations for the characters. And yet, this cute, lovable game can also be a huge jerk. There are a couple of moments towards the end of the game where you want to karate chop it in the throat. Things like putting you into rooms where you have to leave your animal friend behind, or even worse, this level. As you're running through the beginning of the level, they throw a ton of lives at you. And do you know why? Because the next segment is going to be hell. It's a guess and check. The screen is auto-scrolling from right to left, and you have to choose a path with almost no time to look at which one is the right one. Whoops, you chose the wrong path. Guess you have to die and do it all over again. And to make it worse, you do this 3 or 4 different times until you finally can beat the level. This moment was out of nowhere. You know some sadistic game developer at HAL was maniacally laughing while making this portion of the level. Luckily, the game is still good, but anyways. Kirby's Dream Land 2 really is a good game, and I appreciate the fact that they didn't just take the easy route. Sakurai very easily could have just done what I mentioned earlier and released this exact same game, but without the animal friends. People still probably would have enjoyed it still would have made them money, but that wasn't enough for them. They did what they could to innovate, putting gameplay and fun first. That's something that all of Nintendo's first-party franchises do, and it's one of the biggest reasons that Nintendo is able to stay such a strong competitor in the market. Alright, and that is it for Kirby's Dream Land 2. I hope you all enjoyed the video and that you are enjoying the Year of Kirby in general. A lot more videos to come, so stay tuned for that, and as always, have a wonderful rest of your day.